What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? Welcome back to World of Tanks. Today it is beautiful Sunday, so I am back with yet another news episode, and today I have first details about the upcoming Tier 8 premium heavy tank from Germany. And this tank is VK168.01 Mauerbrecher. Or at least I think this is how you have to pronounce it. At first I thought Mauerbrecher or something like this, but my good old friend Google Translator lady said Mauerbrecher, as we can hear.
Mauerbrecher. Mauerbrecher.
So hopefully this is the correct way to say it, but I am pretty sure a lot of German viewers are already cringed to hell with my pronunciation. But today my first look and first details about this vehicle. And guys, when I say first details, I mean first details. That doesn't include any gameplay action. One guy said in my previous news episode that please stop clickbaiting. I really do try to avoid every single bit of clickbaiting, adding first details into the title and on the thumbnail as well. So if you didn't know that already, first details means I'm talking about this vehicle, I'm going to show some pictures, and I'm going to talk about first details, first specs. So hopefully from now on this is understandable, and every single time I have gameplay action I'm not going to add first details, I'm going to add, I don't know, tank preview, tank review, gameplay into the title as well, so you know automatically. If you're not interested about first details, you can simply not click on the video anymore, and I'm really sorry if my title was misleading, but I tried to make it super clear from the get-go. But I really feel happy about all the rest of the feedback where you guys are saying thank you for keeping us posted, thank you for early information. Sometimes that information takes a lot of digging, sometimes not too much. This episode actually, for this episode I did a lot of digging to get some older pictures for you as well, or pictures about the standard VK168.01 because that Mauerbrecher is going to be, you know, like Defender and Object 252U version. You get one skinned version and you get a regular version as well. Most likely this is going to happen with this vehicle as well. And as always, keep in mind everything you are going to hear in this episode is subject to change, but this vehicle was spotted on the 9.21 super test server, so people are already testing this vehicle out. On the background you can see a couple of pictures of the skinned VK168.01. Not too bad looking vehicle, even though that turret placement for this kind of vehicle seems kinda weird. If I'm going to compare it to Maus, to Moisen, to a VK101P, which is regular tier 8 vehicle, yeah, its turret placement at first looked super weird, but that skinned version, not a bad looking tank. But they did something that already pissed off a small community who knew about this vehicle already. Here is a picture about the standard VK168. And it has a bike. And that bike is already kind of a meme around this vehicle. When people saw this tank without the bike, skinned version without the bike, it released hell, actually. Because Wargaming removed the best feature about VK168.01. And that was that bike, apparently it was. Because on your bike, you can be 10 times faster than this vehicle can go. I can tell you one thing already. If you knew, or if you think you know what is slow in World of Tanks, think again. This tank has so bad out from this world power to weight ratio. But more about that when I talk about the mobility. So let's talk about first details that I was able to get. Let's start with the gun as always. DPM 1835. Keep in mind this is tier 8 premium heavy tank. Alpha damage is 440, penetration 220, with a regular AP round that has 810 meters per second shell velocity. A premium round is APCR round with 260 millimeters of penetration and 1013 meters per second shell velocity. And this is actually not the first version of this vehicle. I was able to dig out some older stats as well. Previously it used to have 208 millimeters of penetration with 4 490 alpha damage, and DPM was almost 100 lower. Those firepower stats were from MAME. I'm going to add one picture as well, just in case you're interested. You can pause the video. But firepower stats that it has at the moment is super similar to Defender. DPM is almost exactly the same. Defender has 5mm better penetration. Reload time is almost exactly the same as well. But moving on, let's talk about reload. 14.38 seconds equals 4.17 rounds per minute. Aiming time 2.59 seconds, accuracy 0.38, and moving accuracy or traverse accuracy, well, this is not super bad, but this is not something exceptional either. Defender has over 3 second aiming time and over 0.4 accuracy. If I remember correctly, it has 0.42 dispersion. What else about firepower? I believe gun handling. Let's talk about gun handling. -8 degrees of gun depression, 25 degrees of gun elevation, so you can almost shoot the stars. Turret traverse is super bad, 15.64 degrees per second. It can carry 50 shells with 22,000 potential damage. And I believe that is it. Maybe shell cost as well. Regular shell is going to cost 1070 credits, and premium shell, quickly, 4800. Oh guys, this is actually not too bad, especially if I'm going to compare it to the T92. That has to be hot fixed ASAP, guys. Over here, 4800 per pop for 440 alpha damage. And T92, new tier 8 premium light tank, has to pay 5600 per pop for 150 alpha damage. In my opinion, this has to be hot fixed as soon as possible. But overall firepower, well, comparing it to the Defender, it is not too bad. Gun handling is a lot better. Better gun depression, better accuracy, better aiming time. What else? Penetration is only lower. Yes, penetration is lower. And VK can carry a lot more ammunition as well, so you can take those blind shots. A Defender can carry only 30 rounds, which is quite problematic. But now, let's talk about the biggest weakness, or the biggest balancing factor about this tank. And this is mobility. And I believe let's move slowly. I do not want to dramatize you that quickly. So, top speed 20 km per hour. It is super meh, yes I understand, but it is super heavy vehicle as well. Reverse speed 15. Not bad actually, 15 kph reverse speed is quite respectable. And now, engine power. This vehicle is 168 tons heavy tank with 780 horsepower engine, guys. This equals 4.64 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio, which is almost twice as weak as on Type 5 Heavy. Oh my god, 4.64 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio. At first when I saw it, I thought this has to be some kind of a joke. 4.64. But as said, those are first details, or actually second details. Let's see what it had before, where I can see the mobility. Oh, it had, back in May, it had exactly the same power to weight ratio and exactly the same power. So that is actually a little bit worrying. I don't know what to say about that, or what to think about that, other than it is super bad. And tank traverse 18.77 degrees per second. And before we see T95 itself circling this vehicle to death. Well, that would be actually quite hilarious to see. But anyway, mobility is complete and utter garbage. That tank traverse speed, turret traverse speed 15.64 degrees per second is also super bad. So yeah, mobility seems to be the epic balancing factor of this vehicle. Let's move on into the survivability. Let's talk about the armor, and let's take a look at the 3D model as well. So hull armor numbers: 180 in the front, 130 on the sides, and 100 in the rear. Turret 230, 160 and 100. and this vehicle is going to have 1700 HP. And from this 3D model we can see that this vehicle actually has a couple of weak spots in the front of the tank. For tier 8s, tier 9s and tier 10s, the lower plate is also going to be a weak spot. Maybe not for every single tier 7 vehicle that this tank is going to face, especially under angle like this or under angle like this. It has, let's say, on flat ground, it has around 175 millimeters thick effective armor. Yep, under angle like this. But the weak spot, epic weak spot, is going to be this little machine gun turret. VK4502B used to have something like this back in the days. Maybe some of you remember. But Wargaming removed it because every single tank was able to penetrate it easily. And they added around 100 or maybe 200 extra millimeters of armor over there. And now you're not able to penetrate it anymore that easily. But over here, 150, 145 effective armor, easily penetrable by every single tank this vehicle can see. Just face hug and penetrate. And finally, Commander Hatch is going to be yet another weak spot, a fairly big Commander Hatch as well. If you are going to compare it to the turret, this tank is huge, turret is huge, and Commander Hatch is 50% of the turret. Like side profile view, I mean. So really hard to miss, and 150 effective armor, really easy to penetrate. And if you side scrape with VK168, you reveal yet another weak spot. Let's say you side scrape under angle like this, so we are not able to see this weak spot, we are not able to see your lower plate maybe, or let's say we cannot see your Commander Hatch as well, but just shoot over here. Boom, yet another weak spot. So this tank is full of weak spots, easy to penetrate. I am going to say that right away, or at least I am not going to have any problems penetrating it if I can see it as these over here at the moment. But what else to say? This tank has 1700 HP, I said that already, view range 400 meters, and this tank has 6 crew members: commander, driver, radio man, gunner, loader and loader. So 6 crew members. And these were first details about VK168.01 Mauerbrecher, I think. Sorry, German guys, German fans, if you cringe too much. If I cringe you too much. Anyway, first details. Yeah, interesting to say the least. That power to weight ratio, yuck. Puke. No comments, I believe. Firepower, overall firepower is actually not too bad. TPM, as always, is not the best. Alpha damage is respectable. Penetration is respectable. Accuracy is respectable once again. And aiming time, 2.59 seconds. Not bad. So, ladies and gents, VK168.01 skinned version. I do not try to pronounce that name too much. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I thank you for watching, and as always, let me know what you think about this tank in the comment section down below. Take care, stay awesome, and bye.